Born to his father Agostino Valenti and mother Domenica, both immigrants of Sicily. His siblings were Jack, Angela, and Josephine. He was the youngest of the 4 siblings. He was not able to graduate high school due to the untimely death of his father. He worked to help support his family and later studied to receive his GED. He was drafted into the U.S. Army and served from 1954 to 1956 as a ski trooper overseas in Japan. Upon his return, he maintained relationships and friendships with many of the fellow soldiers throughout his lifetime. He met our mother Anna Pitti in April of 1959. Their story on how they met is quite unique. My mom was visiting her sister Millie and went to the supermarket together where my dad saw her while at work there. When he saw my cousin Mary, he asked who she was because he wanted to take her out. My cousin agreed that she would deliver a letter to my mom in which he wrote. She delivered the letter. He agreed to go on a date with her, and the rest is history. They were engaged that November and wed the following November, 1960. They lived in Brooklyn in the early years of their marriage, where Joyce and I were born, and later moved to a modest home in Brentwood, New York by October of 1965. Our father eventually became a bus driver for the MTA and worked tirelessly to support our family until he retired in 1991. Driving was not only his career choice, but was our mode of transportation for every family vacation. He loved to take the scenic route and never had a problem with a road trip, even down the East Coast to Florida many a time. But heaven help us if there was traffic. There was no need for a GPS when our father was driving. In fact, anytime you were in need of directions, he was the one to go to. His many passions were photography, music, and a great love of sports. The New York Yankees and New York Islanders were his teams. His camera was always in tow for family gatherings, vacations, and holidays. We enjoyed home slideshows as children, and it was his great joy to put a show on for us. The music collection spanned into many genres. Sinatra was his favorite, but we cannot list the endless artists on vinyl, laserdisc, and CDs. His most prized possession was a stereo that was in our finished basement back in the 70s and 80s, in which we had to learn how to gently place the diamond head needle onto the record and hold the album just so as to never scratch it. In 2001, our parents made the move to Saddle Lakes in Riverhead, and he was an active participant in the many community gatherings. At Living Waters Full Gospel Church, he was an usher and enjoyed fellowship at men's Bible study. He embraced 2 son-in-laws, Michael and Philip. They eventually grew, warm into father and son relationships. Family gatherings were enjoyed for every holiday, birthday, and special occasion. The role as grandfather to Chanel, Michael, Nicholas, Gabriella, and Anthony was his favorite and his finest. He was blessed to watch them all grow into young adults and embrace the addition of Michael Castro, Samantha Caazzo, and Will Fife as his own. His grandchildren all experienced unconditional love and affection. He built bridges with each one of them according to their interests and strong points. Of course, they were always a good reason to make a trip to the ice cream parlor. In the last decade of his life, it became increasingly difficult for him to walk. due to his severe nerve pain in his back and foot. He pressed through though, and kept going because he never wanted to miss a thing. As a family, we could not ask for a better patriot. Our father loved God, family, and his country. In his final days, all he wanted to do was be close to our mother and hold her hand night and day, telling her over and over again how much he loved her. My mom's love for him was a beautiful gift also. We are all blessed to look back on his life and legacy of love. Thank you, Lord, for blessing us for as long as we could have had him.